So guys, welcome. I am Nobotic back with another video. So without wasting any more time, let's get on to it. This is a video about how esports could grow and be the biggest community in the world. Let's go. The first issue that I may call it as a slot issue and the major tournament requirement. So, explaining on this part, just imagine this. Right now, the tournaments which go about in the esports community, be it in the global, be it in my region, that is India, be it anywhere in the world. Okay. So if you actually look into it, you may actually observe of certain things. Like for example, suppose ESL hosts a tournament. Okay, that time it's actually most of the teams are invited. There is that slot issue. Most of the teams are invited. You need to bring in teams which have raw firepower, which have raw skill set, which have raw communication skills, which need to grow. How do you bring about that? Obviously hold more tournaments. The more tournaments you hold, stronger the gamers will get, stronger the players will become, and stronger their mindset will be, and stronger will be the raw talent emerging from it. You don't even know players which actually play better than, maybe better, not actually better, maybe better than many players right now in the esports community. You won't even know them, you can't even name them, but still they exist. What are they waiting for? They are waiting for the opportunity which aren't able to get. Actually, not even like they aren't trying, they aren't able to get those opportunities because lack of tournaments and already reserved slots. So what should happen in this? Simple thing: host more tournaments, host major tournaments. Like major tournaments, there should be no reserved slots in major tournaments. Just host one tournament, keep rooms, keep whatever. Like if for example I take in PUBG. Okay, PUBG have maybe made into rooms, just like how PMCO fall split, and every PMCO tournament gets hold on in the initial stage. You can actually go with that flow. Go talking more about this, you can actually put into a simple presentation of how the chart will run, like how the teams would perform, and then how they will be graded, and how they will actually get into this era. So getting into this era is very difficult at this point because of the slot issue. Like most of the slots are already reserved for the major esports players, right? So why only for them? Why can't we host every single tournament from a raw form, that is from scratch, from level 0, that even the major tournament players, like even the winners, the champions, have to prove themselves that yes, they are worth the time given to this tournament. So that must be implemented, and more tournaments should be held instead of only like three major tournaments in a year. Instead of that, it may be like seven or eight. And for that, it should be like, even if 1 lakh teams participate in a single tournament, it should come like this, that it should start from scratch, zero, that is from base, the qualifiers, then whatever qualifiers you want to take, and then the finals. No team deserves a reserved slot. Everyone should be given equal opportunity. New teams get created every day, and there is always another one who's always better than the other. Understand? So this slot issue is a major problem in the development of esports community. I feel like that. So let's get on to another issue of esports coming right up. So, as the second issue suggests, organizations of esports should explain the advantages and disadvantages of esports. Just imagine, guys, just imagine if there is a game where there are more than maybe 1000 of esports players. Okay, out of those 1000 esports players, how many of them actually make it big? Like, take the big names in esports. There's Scout from India, there's Mortal from India, there's Dynamo from India, there are many others from India. There is Shroud. There is Shroud, the biggest sensation in the esports history, according to me. I feel like that. There's Shroud. There's there are ample of players like Ninja is the biggest example. He is wonderful, he's just amazing. Talking about them, they are exceptions. They are exceptions into the esports community. Okay, why Shroud left esports? There are other reasons why Shroud left esports. But talking about this major factor, organizations which hire esports players, like I own an organization. I own an organization. I am paying you to play for my team. Okay, so that means I should actually also explain you the advantages and disadvantages of it. The advantages being you're gonna get salary, you're gonna get this thing, you're gonna get this thing, you're gonna get that thing. Every advantage should be explained. And disadvantages, what if you fail? What if that organization crashes? What if that organization is not getting the outcome it desired for? Then then what will happen? Not every player has a great family background, guys. Not every player has a great family background. Not every mother and father can support their their child to have an aspiration in esports. Esports is growing, guys. Esports is growing. We need to support it by, we as common people can't do much, but we can actually, sign a few petitions, make a few petitions for these organizations. In the contract, they should at least explain advantages and disadvantages of esports. Like, they should at least given the players, I mean the players should at least be given with a few certain criteria. Yeah, that yes, if this happens you may get this, but if this doesn't happen, you also would be like thrown away. Okay, that's a part of your contract. That I agree. But still, you guys are understanding, right, what I mean by advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages, maximum in esports player has a journey up to the age of 30. After the age of 30, there are few scientific reasons why you can't play esports. Your reflexes get pretty low. Obviously there are exceptions in this case as well, but I'm talking about the average man, the common man, I must say, the common esports player. Reflexes go low, your career is about to end, and then what? These are the disadvantages of esports. These should be managed and explained by the orgs. The org should not only seek benefit for themselves but also help their players make a better life for themselves through esports. It's emerging, guys. We need to support it. Let's move on to the third topic, the third view of my video. Yes, so education is must. What I mean by education over here, it's very easy. It's very easy to understand what I mean by education right here. Education means the normal secondary school, the higher graded school, the university that you guys go to. Even for an esports player, it has to be done. As I explained in the previous viewpoint, that after a certain age you cannot continue your esports career, right? You can become a brilliant content creator, then it's fine and good. But again, as I mentioned, not everyone can be Shroud, not everyone can be Ninja. There are people, there are common esports players. The names which you remember right now, you may not remember them once, after a few years. Once they cross the age of 30, they stop playing, then they are just disappeared. Where are they disappeared to? Why do menial things when you can actually get a decent education and then actually do something good? Like, you cannot degrade your own lifestyle, right? Not every player's parents can support them to the fullest with the amount of money they have. So education is must. I feel the contracts made by orgs should state, it must state, not even should, it must state that education is compulsory for the players, that they should also study and focus on the game at the same time. Yes, maybe the priority of them should be given to esports. The priority should be given to esports, but still, they should be explained why education is important in this world to thrive and to live. Guys, it's not easy to live without money. You may feel like you are a brilliant esports player right now. After a certain age, you need money. You need money to finance everything, your family, everything that you live with. You cannot degrade your lifestyle, guys. You cannot degrade your lifestyle. You have to make amendments in your life after a certain period of time. So for that, education is must. This was my third viewpoint, that how organizations may introduce contracts where education is a priority. Like, you should play the game as well as you should study, so that in the future it won't risk your life. Your career in esports is going to be fine, but it should not risk your life and give you adverse effects after the age you leave esports. Nothing is like worse than thinking that why did I choose esports in the future. You should not have any regrets in your life. That's why I feel education is must for growing a definitely strong community. And if education is introduced into contracts and education is given equal importance, just imagine the kind of community, the kind of gamers we would have in this world. It's going to be amazing. So, my fourth viewpoint, not everyone can be the best. Yes, not everyone can be the best. And it also depends on games. Like, if you're playing Fortnite, okay, if you're playing Fortnite, that time you may choose as someone being the best. I don't know. Like, Fortnite is very relative. But in Battle Royale games, for example, the biggest Battle Royale game, PUBG, player unknowns battlegrounds, you cannot compare anyone to anyone. Yeah, the skill set definitely matters, that this guy has great reflexes, this guy has great this thing, this guy has great sniping skills, he is overpowered literally. But still, just imagine this. Even Shroud said this thing in a recent video of his, that you cannot compare another esports player to another esports player. The reason being, it all depends on that particular situation. Yes, this player may be good at reflexes, but this player is good at his sniping skills. Maybe the player 1 isn't so good at sniping, but player 2 is definitely good at sniping. You cannot compare players. The chat goes literally toxic, stating that he is a noob, he cannot play, why include him in your team. This is, I'm just talking about one game in particular. You guys may know this, obviously I don't have to state it, but I'm just saying, over the time, that this has to change. Not everyone can be the best. Okay, everyone at a certain point, like if you're playing the world league, everyone is equal. Everyone has the same amount of skill set, the same amount of reflexes, the same amount of positioning they get. But it's only a matter of advantage and disadvantage at the kind of situation they are into right now. And that's the major point behind, like, just imagine you are an esport player, and you're playing. Suddenly the chat goes toxic if you cannot hit one shot. Why? It wasn't a good situation for you to be in that thing. And it's all right, it's fine. It's absolutely fine to miss a shot sometime. Not everyone always gets the highest amount of damage inflicted and highest amount of kills, right? So it's fine, not everyone can be the best, and it's just fine like that. So without hesitation, I'll just move on to the next point of mine. So the next point of mine, self-realization slash commitment. For anything, literally, if you want to strive in this world, you need commitment. You need that exposure to things, and you need that composure in yourself, that yes, I am going to give my 110% to this thing. If you're trying to be an esport player, you cannot be like, uh okay, fine, I did this mistake, let's leave it, next time I won't do it. No. Okay, you may leave that thing, but no, you have to think that why did I do this mistake. It's okay to be slow. It's okay to be slow. Esports is still on a verge of development. It's not yet completely developed, so you have time, you have ample of time to think upon that yes, this game has this tenure. Just imagine one game, if it gives you great reflexes, the next game which comes after it, you can immediately, like, become really good in that game, because you have ample of experience and ample of reflexes about how to handle these kind of situations. If you're a battle royale player, trust me, if you play another game, like maybe some construction game or something, you won't like it, because you have those kind of knack of picking up on reflex kind of scenarios. And a battle royale player wouldn't actually play some kind of construction game. Just for content he can. Content, I don't know why I said content, but just for content he can. But for esports, I don't think so he can go into that domain. But yes, self realization is important and commitment is important in this. Self realization in the sense that this guy has to realize that yes, I am lacking this ability. There's always someone better than you. That's the best case scenario to explain this thing. There's always someone better than you. That if that person's better than me in this particular thing, I'm not chasing him. I am just chasing myself. I am just chasing myself to become a better version of myself than I was yesterday. If I can improve 1% of my game every day, just imagine 100 days and you're already on the 100% power of yours. That's the major issue over here. And if everyone does this, the whole esports community, trust me, even the game developers will be shocked that yes, our game is getting so much exposure, so much. They are into the money making business. Obviously, in the end, everyone is about money. And trust me, esports is going to go like a way distant way if all the players are like that. Yes, all the players are like that at this point, but you have to commit to the game full time. the I'll tell you one thing. My idol in esports is Scout. Orange Rock Scout. He plays for the team Orange Rock from India. PUBG Mobile, yes. And according to me, I don't know, everyone has a great skill set. Everyone has great reflexes. This guy is just amazing. Trust me. There are players who have even better reflexes than him, but the commitment he gives to the game, you give your 110%. Don't expect anything from anyone. You'll have your results right in front of you. Right in front of you. That's what I mean by commitment and self realization over here. This will actually help the community to grow a lot. More players will emerge, more realized players, more stronger players who actually care and who actually are willing to make a change. And that's what we want. That's what we want. And let's move on to the last point for this video. Let's move on to it. So the last point, non-toxic environment. This is actually needed. Suppose I support one football team, okay, but then there's another team which is their rival maybe, and this rival goes on beating them. That doesn't mean I should hate the rival team, right? I may dislike them. There's a great difference between hating someone and disliking them. In the same way, if I love one team, and suppose I take the example of CSGO, okay, Counter Strike Global Offensive. I love Fnatic in Counter Strike Global Offensive, okay. I love Fnatic, and if Fnatic is against Cloud9, for example, and Cloud9 starts killing each one of Fnatic's players, and they are literally on a killing spree, taking 5-0, 6-0. All right, that time if you start spamming Cloud9 is toxic, Cloud9 uses hacks, Fnatic is shit. These are the, by the way, these are the same guys who comment that Fnatic OP once they start winning. You shouldn't be in this mentality that every team is always going to win. There are going to be days the time you lose. So that doesn't mean you give up, right? And that time it's your duty as a supporter, as a fan, to cheer up for your team. Trust me, their willingness depends upon how much you are willing to put efforts for them. Spam hearts, that's the major aspect this community can do in order to be in a non-toxic environment and a great community to build upon. Start spamming hearts if this team is not playing good. If Fnatic doesn't play good, I'll literally spam hearts into the chat if I'm watching ESL live. Okay. If Fnatic starts losing, I literally start spamming hearts. It's the best thing for me and for that team, that yes, there are supporters, there are followers that are actually depending on me for the team to win. and that gives them strength, guys. Let's make it a non-toxic environment. This is the best how our community could grow. This is the best thing for the community from the supporters side of view. So anyway, these are the points I wanted to highlight upon how esports could be the biggest community in the world and how esports would grow in all the countries. And actually, if we actually follow these principles ideally, maybe one day esports would become the perfect career option. Right now it's a pretty dicey career option, but maybe in the near future, if these things are implied upon, it's going to be the biggest and the grandest of all career option. So kudos guys, this was episode 2 of Talks with Bot. And for the game part 2, it's coming, it's in the way. And anyway guys, so no me, bot fam. So pretty tired after talking though so much. So after this, signing off. I'll be back with part 2 of Talks with Bot episode 1. Sorry for directly uploading episode 2. I'll be back with part 2 very soon. Until then, enjoy this episode 2, and if you did like it, comment down your thoughts and like, share and subscribe to the video. I'll be very glad and very happy to see what you write in the comment section below. Till then, until then, see ya. See ya, see ya, see ya. Okay, 7 times I said just for fun. Okay, we are very close to 100 subs. Let's get into 100. And as I say, वो लाल बटन है ना, उस पर अनुलोम विलोम कर दो, ग्रे हो जाने दो उसको. Do subscribe to the channel guys, like, share and subscribe. Till then, Nobotic signing off. Peace guys.